I started it.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Nasatar here coming live again. So just wanted to make a quick video. Obviously you can see what the title is about. The title is about what services I actually provide and what I actually do and the fees that we charge. Now basically if you've been following any of my videos, you know that I only discuss and talk about property. Now property in a way that what we can actually do is, now first thing I wanted to say is that anybody that you're following or you're watching or you're wanting to do some business with, the first thing that you should be doing is, as soon as you get messages from these the people, the companies or whatever, you should be looking on their Facebook page, you should be doing searches, you should be doing having a look at their website to make sure that what is that they do, and are they legit and they're not just there for one day and gone the next day. So if people do their due diligence, there's really very little reasons to ask the questions. But yeah, it's cool, people do ask you questions, and we're obviously here to answer them. So right now we've actually got two cameras going, so we're trying to get different angles and so forth, so please don't mind if I'm looking here or looking there. You do have my attention. Now anyway, the property that we kind of source, now we source a few different types of property. Now basically, if you wanted a property slightly cheaper, now we can source that for you, but that's going to have a sitting tenant in it basically. So we actually found two properties last week, and both of them have got sitting tenants in it. Now you can generally pick those up excuse me, below market value. Now the reason being is the landlord is fed up, just wants to sell the property, and he just says, look, I just want out, or he needs the money for whatever the reason is. I've made another video on that before, I think, if you go back and have a look at my videos. But yeah, that is one of the main ones, and that's actually a good strategy, by the way, because for instance, if a property is valued at £80,000 in the market, you're getting it for say 10% less or whatever. It's actually less than the actual market value. So for example, you can pick it up for for £70,000. It's already got a sitting tenant in it. There's very little to be done because the person's living in it, so there shouldn't be anything needing done to it to bring it up to legal legal standards. There may be something, the tenant could come back and say, well, we had this issue, and if you're buying the property, could you do this, put the flooring here's gone or whatever. We had that wee thing in I think it was one of the kitchens, one of the tiles are a little bit loose, so we're fixing that for the new owner, and obviously the tenant's happy as well. So yeah, that is one. So you can actually get an income straight away from day one. You bought the property with a sitting tenant. It's just like normally buying a property. You can have a home report on it if you want, which a lender would ask for anyway. Your solicitor would keep you right on that. But we have bought properties without home reports because the lender is actually going to send out their own surveyor anyway. So yeah, you could do that. That's one source of income, one source of property that we source. So straight away, you're getting an income from day one. Brilliant, great strategy. In 2 years' time, that property you can actually revalue and pull a lot of your money back out as well. So that is a really good strategy, but you've got to know what you're doing with that. And you've got to be able to get the numbers to stack up, so we can certainly help you with that. That's one. The other one is if we are finding a property just off market, which is somebody selling. I mean, we get contacted every now and then, more and more now, but we do get contacted with people saying, look, we've got a property to sell, are you interested, or can you get somebody to buy it? So we can certainly take that property on board and go out and look for investors that we can contact and say, well, we've got this property here, it's not on the market yet, but it's coming on the market, are you interested in that? And they would generally say yay or nay, or whatever, let's have a conversation. So that's off market. Now on market, again, you can actually get deals. I mean, if you know the agents, if you're talking to the agents all the time like what we are, and they build a trust with you, because a lot of people go out there and say, I'll give you £100,000 for your property, although it's worth 80. The thing with that is, once they actually get down to the nitty gritty and they put the offer in, they go to the mortgage broker and they discuss figures and they think, well, it's only worth 80, but we've paid 100. You're not going to get the mortgage for 100 grand. You're going to get the mortgage for 80,000, 75% loan to value. So that is something to bear in mind, and people don't really realise that. And then we find that these properties come back on the market because people don't realise that they have to pay the difference between 80 and 100 plus your 25% deposit. So that's something to really bear in mind. So that's on market as well. So, and we've picked up some great deals for ourselves and for our investors, and something that we can buy. So that's off market, on market. Now with these two strategies, again, you can actually do them up if the property is, you know, not suitable for renting out for whatever reason. It might be a big house or something, or it might just not have the right location for tenants, which really is unheard of because every location is pretty good for tenants. But you can actually do it up and do your numbers, and if we fix it up, you can actually just turn that around and, you know, make add value to it, do it up, maybe add an extension, go up into the loft, new kitchen, new bathroom, whatever it is that you need to do. But again, you really need to watch what you're doing. There's no point in just like what they do in Homes Under the Hammer. People are buying properties. Not everyone's a winner there, so you've got to be really careful. You buy the property thinking, oh great, I'm going to add value to it, and I'm going to, you know, put a new kitchen, bathroom and everything in it, and then I'm going to sell it for X amount. That's not going to happen because the street will have a ceiling price. So you'd really need to be careful about the ceiling price. To crash through that barrier is really difficult. You really need to know what you're doing with that. So it's not just a matter of buying a property, sticking in a brand new kitchen and a bathroom and thinking I'm going to make 20 grand. You could easily lose your shirt by trying that strategy unless you know what you're doing. But yeah, so you could do that, flip it. You could buy the properties, what we do, buy them, renovate them to whatever it is that they need to be done, bring them up to legal standards, and then, you know, tenant them, get a tenant in there, get the rental in for our investors. Now, I've done other videos in that to give you the exact figures, what sort of money that an investor can make back, rather than having the money sitting in a bank. So if they come to us and discuss property, we can actually get them a really good return. So that's all the things that we do there. So we source the properties. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I forgot. So we source the properties for all different kind of investors, depending on what you want to do, where you want to end up. Some people want to have a hands-free portfolio. They want to build an income. They're quite happy doing their day job, and they just want to have an extra income because they've got surplus cash. Now, I did a video yesterday on that, on surplus cash, if you want to have a look at that one. And yeah, and if you're interested in anything like that. Now, one thing I didn't mention was land. So we're actually doing a deal for land as well. Now, land can be another great strategy if you know what you're doing. We've got investors who are looking specifically for land to build houses on. Now, the land could be anywhere in Scotland that we're looking at. As long as we can build on it, we can get planning permission on it, we'll pass that on to the investors as well. So that is another thing that we're doing. So land is a good one. If anybody's got any land, by the way, if you're thinking, you know, I've got a piece of land here that we want to sell or move on to, please get in touch with us as well. We can help you with that. If you've got a property that you want to sell, we can help you with that. If you're interested in buying a property, please get in touch, and that we can certainly help you with that. Now, the last thing that we're going to discuss is fees. How much do you charge? Now, the charge can be anything really. I mean, it really depends on the deal, how hard we've got to work, but all of that will be mentioned to you beforehand. Now, some sourcers are charging just a fixed fee, and then regardless of the amount of work, but we have like a structured strategy, because we're not just looking for 1-bedroom flats. We're looking at, you know, 4-bedroom villas as well. We're looking for land. We're looking for investors who want to actually buy a property in the UK to move into, or call their second home when they're in the UK. So the fee actually really depends. But if you're interested in discussing more, listen, let's have a discussion about it. Just get in touch with me. We can have a chat. But that's basically what we do. And if you go onto my Facebook page, there is a link there to our company, Sourcing Assets Better, where we source your assets better, basically. So have a look on that, and please get in touch. We can have a conversation. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.